Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Nick and I am from IGS Electronics. So today we're going to be finishing up, not finishing up, sort of parking our logo, checking out the logo hardwares. So today we're going to be doing a analog output card. So that's the last card on the list I wanted to do for the logos, and I will park it for now, and in the future when something new comes along I will add into the playlist. So do check out the playlist as we progress. But as I said, for this video we are going to be finishing off with a analog output card. Is really cool analog output module is basically, and if you put them together in tandem with or analog input or RTD module, you can create some pretty complex and pretty cool stuff. So I'm pretty much going to show you today how so this the wiring, the hardware and testing. We're going to use 2 meters. So to give you an idea of an application where you could create a sample program to give you an idea how to structure the program for the analog outputs to work with tandem with the analog inputs. So yeah, this is what we're going to be doing today. So if you missed all other videos, guys, do check them out. We already covered the RTD module, we got the analog input module, the actual controller itself. Check out the program, the screen, and all the things. This is part of the one playlist. Do check it out. It's pretty cool stuff, and I'm sure by watching them you'll be able giving you a really good understanding what logo is all about, what is possible, and what is more or less possible. Obviously we're covering a fraction of what this can be do, but giving you ideas what can you add up to create something really cool. So yes, that's what we're doing today. All the manuals, all the videos, everything else, I believe they would benefit any possible way in the description below. So without further ado, let's get started. So this is our analog card right in here, and as usual in previous videos we watched, we are pretty much looping power all across, and L1, L plus, and L plus is for the 24 volt DC plus, and M is for minus, and then from there on these 2 points in here you can carry on to the next card if you wish to add one. When it comes down to this one, as you can see down there, you can see like a U1 plus, and this I1, and the U plus 2, and 2 plus, and then I2. So basically U will stand for volts, and I will stand for a current. So and this M1 in here will stand for your negative part of whichever you are sending out. So if you're sending volts out, sending volts out, let's say hypothetically to the drive, it will be U minus going to the negative part of it, and a U plus it will be going to the positive part of it, as your potentiometer. So and both of them are outputting at the same time. So volts are getting outputted, and current is getting output at the same time as the values changes within the PLC. So which I'm going to show that in a minute, and I'll show you that how that looks in the meter as well. So this guy in here, that's again for your earthing and shielding if you wish to have them and you need them. This is the points in here where you can put them on. So that's pretty much it when it comes down to analog cards. So we're going to jump now on a computer and quickly check out how to more or less start getting volts and current out of it. So righty, so this is the program that we have at the moment. I have created off camera. So more or less for the analog outputs to be able to send analog output out, you are going to be using a PI controller, right? This guy in here, and this guy in here is able to output a value into the analog output, and it will convert that into some form of volts or milliamps, whichever you are trying to output. So as you can see now, I have created a like a set reset thing, because by default a PI controller is in manual mode, which I'm going to show on the screen in a minute. In a manual mode you can edit the value from 0 to 1000, and it will output the certain amount of milliamps or volts according to that number value. So if 0 will be 0 volts and 1000 will be 10 volts, or 0 volts, 0 is going to be 0 milliamps or 4 milliamps, whichever selection you have chosen, and obviously 20 or 24 is going to be 1000. So that's pretty much how this PI controller works in here. As you can see down here, you have, come on, click on it. It's not showing me. So generally it would usually it does show me. Why is it not showing me now? Let's just take one up before we go through that. show it. Yeah, use this guy in here. That will be manual automatic mode. This one in here is going to be your reset. Oh, now it popped up. And this is your PV, and PV is where you send your analog values into it from. And I have analog inputs connected to it, where I'm sending in 4 to 20 milliamps, 0 to 20 milliamps. And in when you go in here, you can more or less select what your sensor is going to be. We are more or less going to be concentrating on manual output, but I quickly as well demonstrate to you how I would work the PI control itself when you would have two sensors working in tandem with each other. It's basically not two sensors, I mean one sensor, like pressure sensor, sending signaling from the tank, and obviously the output signal will be sent to the drive to ramp up or ramp down. This is where you set your set value. I can leave that at 200 because I'm not going to get in too much in the depth in here, but you need some form of set value on which range does it work in. Obviously don't forget to select your sensor. You can measurement range in there. You can also change your gains and offsets as well. We're going to leave all that, and parameters in here you need to check what you're doing. And again, as I said, in our application, what I'm trying to demonstrate in here, we are using a pressure 1, and there's a pressure 2, and both of them come to the different data down here. Again, that most likely is going to be some separate video for me to go through in a lot more detail. From there on, you're pretty much done in here. So, and then you're gonna have one leg down here, which you just add your analog output, which is AQ. You can find all that in right here, analog output, and it will output that converted value into analog output card, and this is where you're going to get your milliamps or volts, whichever you're trying to do. So obviously we want to have some form of display control as well, so we definitely going to be creating a display. And as you can see in here, this is the whole things that you can put on display, and gains, offset, small process value, large process value, set value you can edit, and control amplification, and integration time you can change that. And the ones that we're going to be doing, we're going to call manual output. What we're going to do in here, we're going to change that to, we're going to change, I didn't realize it does that, so we do that. We're going to change that to manual C or something like that. So again, as do watch the previous videos, what all these things, these pencils very much is editable value. So this one in here is analog output value. This is basically showing you what analog output value it is, and this is showing you what analog input value is, and we put them both on the screen. And we also we put only that on there. So, and that's pretty much what you need to do to get your analog values going. As you will change, I will show that in a minute on the screen, when we change the values. So what happens to analog output, we're gonna check them all out in a minute. So having done that, so let's just pump that into our controller. As always, gotta pump it in, and from there on we are gonna go and check it out. So come on, connect to it, come on, almost there. It's taking its time. Here we are, so let's pump that in. And having done that, I'll see you on a controller. So let's have a look what we have created. So this is our screen. Remember, that's what we just did on. Let's tell him to zoom in on this screen. So as you can see, our manual control, manual C down here. So let's just let's escape that one for now. And you have an analog output value. As you can see, I am outputting manually at 200. And a PV will be my analog input. At the moment it stands on nothing, so we're going to connect that in the end of the video. I should quickly give you a brief show how the analog input would work together with a PI control. So for analog control, so as you can see, we stand at 200. So now the card should output 2 volts. So there's our meter. So let's just put that right here, somewhere on it. So this one down here, so we can all see what is going on, except my light is right in the screen. So and there we go. So let's move this a little bit along in here. So as you can see, we are seeing exactly 2 volts coming out. So to edit it, so again, I need to tell him to zoom in on them. So I did click escape and hold till the highlights what can be edited. So, and then enter it. So let's change that one to 7. Why not? As you can see, ooh, the zooming thing is as you can see, analog output has changed to 700 as well, and we should see a 7 volt there between M1 and between M1 and V1. As you can see, here we go, 7 volts exactly coming out. And at the same time, so what we're going to do in here, we're going to change that one into a milliamp mode in here. So amp go on to milliamp, and as you can say, at the same time, we will be outputting as well our current. As you can see, it stands at 14 milliamps. So if you hold it in and I go into my controller in here, hold exe. So, and then I will enter it and change that one to 400. As you can see, boom, it jumps straight down to 8 milliamp. And this is how accurate this card is when it works in manual mode. And that, ladies and gentlemen, gives you a really good understanding how you can use and control your whole load of systems with your logo using PI controls with analog output cards. So especially when it comes down to drives, as you can see, I just connected my a controller to a simulator. So I'm going to add it into a simulator, and as you can see down here, I am seeing my 4 milliamps on there, and on the screen, as you can see, it reads that out as a 199. So now at the moment, as you can see, analog output stands at 400 because it's still in a manual mode. Remember, our F signal in here, we'll put it into the automatic mode. So, and let's see what we start doing then. As you can see, it slowly starts adapting to the value. So here we go, I put down to 4, it's gone full speed now. So to 200 is ramped down really quickly. So obviously in the real life that's not going to happen. In real life you will have something like this. Your values are changing slowly. I can even go much finer. Which one was the finest one? I can't remember now. Oh no, that one. Oh, that's the maximum. Oh yeah, that's the finest we can do. So oh, let's just put the screen back. I forgot which button. So which in there. So so as you can see in the oh, not that one, this one. And as you can see in real life, you will see something like this. As you can see, this is my pressure is dropped because my set value was 0 to 200, so he's working within that range. And as you can see, I'm going down and he's ramping up. So as pressure would rise, as you can see, that pressure rising down there, and it will start ramping it down. So I've just gone over the 200, and it will start ramping down. I forgot to have a look at it, which, as you can see, is ramping down quite slowly because I need to you can fine tune that how fast things ramp up, ramp down. But that's again, ladies and gentlemen, that giving you just an idea how the analog input and analog output would work in tandem with each other. So do check that out. Do check that out yourselves, and I'll probably gonna make a PI controller video in the future in a few upcoming videos. So now, ladies and gentlemen, that will do for this video. So the main thing was for me to show you how the analog card works and how can you make it work, and what sort of project you can create with it. So that will do. So if you like the video, please smash that like. Don't forget to comment in the section below. If you do have any questions, I'll answer them as soon and as accurate as I can. So don't forget to subscribe if you like what we're doing here and want to support us. So other than that, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.